Hey guys, how you doing? Today we will talk about Dell computer. That is very old company already since my school time, right? 1984, right? I'm still not graduated and go to work, right? Since 1990, right? And that time Dell computers been Michael Dell, right? You know that been very hot for computer. And then later on, as I can remember about year 2000, there is a notebook, right? There's notebook. That is the notebook type. Then Dell become more hot, and then hot for another 7 or 8 years, then been silent for a while, right? And then now in these few years, Dell stock price been performing quite alright, right? For this 2 to 3 years. And yesterday, the result, the performance of Dell beat Wall Street's expectation, no matter it's in the revenue or in the net earnings. So today we'll take a look. It's mainly because of the AI. Mainly because of AI. But after I study the quarter report, I have some pullback. I have to say that. Then we will come to that very quickly. Right? Okay, then our Falcon portfolio been 117%, right? 117%. 70, I think it's 72 months already, right? From 35,000, then increased it to 76.1 thousand US dollar. So you can leave your comment under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by Ustockmarketweekly@gmail.com. Today is August 30, right? Friday. This is our covering and Dell SOARS from the server segment, right? Yesterday, Dow Jones been hit a new record, 41,355, right? Increased by 243 points yesterday. Because of Nvidia, but actually Nvidia's performance I don't think is very bad, right? Dropped it for 39 points, right? 17,516 and just 1,000 points, then reach the this year's peak again. This is our portfolio, right? Falcon 350,000 portfolio. And this year our increment is 13%. Then once it reached 14 or 15, that is enough for me, right? Because our goal is just to increase 14 or 15% for compound, right? For compound, that means every year increased 14 to 15%, right? Of course, then higher is better, right? But we are not too greedy, right? So you can see that now all of our stock in the portfolio is positive, right? No negative, right? We go through some headlines, right? We know that already Dow rise more than 200 points and have a new record for 2024. And Nasdaq fall because of Nvidia, which I don't think that is too bad. This morning for Asia market, right? No matter is in Nikkei, Japan, in Taiwan, in South Korea, in India, all goes up, including Hong Kong is goes up, right? But Hong Kong is another factor, right? Not following the US, right? It's because the US jobless number and GDP number, then the market think that the recession may not be so likely, right? This is what the investor think, right? Go to Nvidia. We will analyze it in our September's the first episode of YouTube investment look. I don't think that the Nvidia performance is that bad. You cannot always expect that it will have 2 times or 3 times increment. continuously, right? That is not possible. But that performance is, I think, is good enough, right? And that will lower the expectation for NVIDIA for a more reasonable examination, right, of the company. And don't just blindly expect the company have 2 or 3 times per each quarter compared to 1 year before's increment. That is not realistic, right? They want to have it, right? But that is not realistic, right? I think the performance is good enough. And then come to Lululemon. Lululemon is another typical example of the Wall Street, right? If you look at the performance of Lululemon, nothing wrong. Even the international sales increased, even in China, right? But the stock price dropped by nearly 50% this year, and we don't know why. And that is the performance normally of Wall Street. They think it's bad. And they think that because at the time, Lululemon, the stock price is $500 per share. So they think that they can make the money. And they give out some bad news and then bad expectation. And then they say that then, right, the yoga pants are no longer a tie already, no longer a trend already. And then they will have a lot of pullback of the sales in the other countries, but the performance just launched it yesterday. It's not like that, right? So if you dump Lululemon at 250 something, then it's a pity of you, right? Because you sell the stock at the lowest price, and that lowest price is not because of the performance, not because of the business. It's just because of some bad news, then not really a bad news from the investor. I don't know, right? A lot of community lower the target of Lululemon, and now they raise it again, right? So that is what the US stock market looks like, right? Always like that, right? I will analyze Lululemon in Hong Kong program in September. Quite strange, right? Germany's inflation quickly dropped to 2% in August. Because it's unlikely for them to lower from 2 point something immediately to 2%. Does it mean the economy of Germany had problem? I don't know, right? Most populists like that, right? It's not possible for, we know that there are 18 million people in Germany, right? Not a small country, but right, suddenly the inflation dropped to 2%, right? I don't know. Maybe there is some problem in the expenditure or in the spending of Germany, right? Okay, then we come to DELL. This is Michael Dell, right? Now he is 59 years old. He is one of the founder of DELL Computer. We all know that, right? I saw his picture so many years before. At the time, he was very young, right? He is just 1 or 2 years older than me, right? So time is like that, right? Time flies, right? And Dell beats the estimate as a server sales soar 80%, right? We will take a look on that. And we can see that in the past 5 years, DELL Technologies stock price increased more than 3 times, 3.24 times, right? 3 years, 3 times. And in past year, the stock price rise at nearly 100%, right? And if we take out that part, is exaggerated high, then the rise up of the stock price of DELL Technology has no problem. So take a look on my red straight line, right? No problem, right? And now the PE ratio of DELL is just 22 with a dividend of 1.6. Not expensive, not expensive. And if we look at past 1 year, the stock price rised nearly 100%, right? With the dividend. And what the investor talking about is as this diagram, right? You can see that the main part is the red part, AI server. Increased, this is million, from 1.7 billion US dollar to this quarter 3.1. Very good increment, right? Very good. And if we look at the whole computer of the revenue, okay, but not much, right? Okay, that is most probably is because of the AI server, right? So DELL exited the quarter with a record backlog, right? That means have the order already, 3.8 billion US dollar, which is remarkable, right? Because one quarter before is only 1.7, right? And we know that the business model of DELL, right, previously is only the computer and then the notebook. Now is changed already, right? Compute and networking, right? Compute means calculation, quick calculation, and then networking means then go for the internet, something like that, right? And then the storage and then the PC. And the compute and the networking can add up together, right? Link together, right? And then they will use NVIDIA, Intel, Meta, Azure, AMD, then we all know that already, right? And we can see that for the infrastructure, right? That means within the company itself, not a lot changes, right? Not a lot changes. But the client solution then will rise up before and then drop it, right? You can see the orange line, right? And the lower one, I presume is the infrastructure, right? Have the increment but dropped it and then increased it back to 2021. And then client solution, right? Like a fat line and then other business a little bit more increased it. From DELL, why they think that the business will boom is because of the tech, right? See the tech. Okay, for what is the segment, the current segment of DELL, then the driven engine is on the server and on the IT networking, right? Two of them. And the reason is that is first, this is from DELL, right? They said that organization use private or for both public and private infrastructure for Gen AI. That means the company will change itself. I think so, right? And then the company are adopting a multi-cloud strategy, right? That means I'm not only using one cloud, we'll use several companies, right? For the safety sake, then I agree with that, right? And then increase in deployment of edge computing platforms by private mobile network, then maybe, right, sure, we can see that, right? And then the US worker are expected to work in a hybrid model by 2026. That means you may work from home and then you may also work in the office. So at home, they will use, because they work at home, so their home computer may need better link to a server and then better IT network. And then they have to upgrade, right? Maybe, right? Most likely it's like that, right? So you can see that the DELL Technologies target market, it goes from 1.2 trillion US dollar to 2.1 trillion US dollar in 2027, which is, I think so, yeah. But DELL has some problem in the finance. We will come to that, right? The adjusted earning margin is very low, lower than adjusted. This is adjusted, not only the net earning margin, lower than 6. And the adjusted forward PE is just 11, something like that, which is very low. We can see that for just the just this current quarter report, the earnings per share and the revenue both beat the Wall Street expectation. This is the quarter report just announced yesterday, 29. You can quickly see that this is not adjusted, right? The net revenue is 25 billion US dollar, but the net income is only 841 billion US dollar, right? And even we take a look on the non-GAAP net income, right? It's only 1.3 billion US dollar. If we use the non-GAAP net income, that means the net profit is only 5%. And what is really happening is only 3%, right? For the net income of 841 million US dollar. That is too slow. That is too low, right? This is very low, right? So for the net income so low, what happened? Only one thing is billion is for the server and networking, increased by 80% revenue. Storage dropped by 5%, and for the client solution group, consumer segment drop, operating income drop, right? So only one thing is billion is for the server and networking, increased by 80% for the revenue. If we look at the financial report, that means the balance sheet, then I will say it's not up to standard, right? You can see that the current asset 37 billion US dollar, but the current liability is 52. You have to pay them within 1 year. What are they? Short-term debt, account payable, right? Accrued short-term deferred revenue. That means you have to settle within this year. Then that's not enough for how much? About 15 billion US dollar. And then there are other things that you have to pay as well. That is for the long-term debt. The long-term debt plus the non-current liability, you can say it's 20 billion US dollar, right? 20 billion US dollar. And for that, maybe they'll only have to pay the dividend, or sorry, only have to pay the interest, right? That is 1 billion US dollar, right? 1 billion US dollar. And then we just mark it down. The annual net income of DELL Computer is only 3.3 billion US dollar. How can she pay back? Cannot, right? That means DELL Computer has to raise from the stock market or borrow more debts, something like that. So that is very bad. That is very bad. As long as I analyze this from the balance sheet, then the result is like that, right? So the finance is not good. Why the finance is not good? It's because the net income margin is too low, very low. Why? Because the market's competition is very high. It's very high. Not only she can do it, right? Broadcom can do it. Cisco can do it. Right? A lot of competitors there. So the stock price increased, but the financial situation is very bad. And the cash from operating activity, you can see I quickly put a cross of that, right? 1.3 billion US dollar. 1 year before, 3.2. Even we count for half year, 2.3. 1 year before, 4.9. That means she make a lot of business, sell more things, right? But the earning is less because the net income is very, very low, right? The 4P is just 14, but I won't buy it because the finance is too bad, right? The finance is too bad. What can DELL do? What can micro DELL do, right? Issue more debts, borrow more money. I know that, right? I know that because the competition of the PC or notebook is very, very high. Competition. Apple can sell at a very, very expensive price, right? Even the Apple Mini, it will cost about $1,000 in Hong Kong. $1,000, right? For the low storage version. If the high storage version, maybe 10,000, more than 10,000 Hong Kong dollar, right? But not for DELL. DELL's computer is very cheap. Even DELL's notebook is very cheap, right? So that's the problem, right? The net income margin is too low. And how about micro DELL raise it? Raise it, then maybe the people not buying from you. They may buy from others like Samsung, right? Samsung, MSI, Apple, MacBook, blah 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 blah, something like that, right? So this is for the most reason that I pull back on DELL's computer, right? The net profit is too low, so be careful of that, right? I know that the AI career is bright, brilliant, but we have to consider that, right? If micro DELL keep on that low margin, yes, you held the selling, but you cannot cover your current liability. You have to borrow the money. You borrow the money, and then you cannot cover it in the next and the next quarter. All right. So be careful of that, right? Just don't look at the rise of the stock price, right? Okay, thank guys for watching, and then like, comment, share, appreciated. Today is another Friday, right? I hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you guys on next Friday. Bye bye.